Okay, it's Pastor Singer, your blue collar preacher. Just want to give you some more updates. This is episode 8, progress report 8 on the little house on the Bluffs. We got all the siding on, most of the trim outside, all the windows in, and did a little bit of framing inside, but we'll show that framing on the next episode when we start moving inside. But stay tuned for some siding and on the little house on the Bluffs. Previously on the little house on the Bluffs, we had to take off the old siding to get ready to put the new siding on. Okay, I'm getting ready to put a 4050, actually it's 5040, 5 feet wide, 4 feet tall, window right here. So I'm going to demo this out a little bit, bring it up. Okay, we're going to caulk the top edge just like we did the bottom for the Z flashing. Okay, see that edge? That's to hang over the bottom piece of siding. That's why it's Z flashing. That keeps the water flowing down so it doesn't get underneath that wood. Okay, caulk the top edge of that drip flashing too, that Z flashing. See how it kind of lips over the other one? That's so the water runs straight down. Doesn't get underneath there. That's why we put this on there. Alright, see the screws we're using on ours? Has about a 1 inch of bare spot that doesn't have any threads. Then it has about a 1.5 inches of threads. So it's 2.5 inch screws. But we're going through our siding, our wafer board, which is just OSB. Now if you're doing like us, we're just siding over existing old siding that you can see all those nails. They used to have stucco. I tore all their old tar paper off and pounded down all the nails best I could and tightened up the nails If you're doing like us and going over old siding, it's best to use these type of screws so you can suck in tight to the stud. Suck everything up tight to the stud with just the threads, and it slipped through the old siding and the new siding. See how it's I'm just doing the back side here, but see how it's got about 3/4 of an inch for the old existing siding. Now yours may be different. If you're going over 1/2 inch siding and 1/2 inch, these screws would probably still work, but you could probably find some that are even just 1 inch of smooth spot on there. But screws are important when you're doing this. You could probably use staples, staple gun, depending on your situation, but we're using our siding to actually shore up the old house now. It's shore paneling and shear panel, and we're screwing it off every 8 inches. I'm going in between the lines and on the lines here. Your 16's going this way. Of course your wood might have a different pattern, but then we're going every 16 inches, of course. Then I screw tight around the windows so it helps hold it in. And the foam down below here, it's sucked up tight now. We're kind of has some funky looking corners, but I'd rather have it sealed to keep the bugs out. To me is more important than what the bottom corners look like, but that's solid tight and this is solid tight. We're trying to keep ants and whatever little critters from getting up in there. But this is how we're siding this place. Okay, here's some of the siding on. Got the big window on the side here on the south side, and a little window for the bathroom here on the west side. Put a window in for swamp cooler over here in the kitchen on the north end. I like to put my swamp coolers in the shade. They seem to get cooler. But you can see we had to use 3/4 to match up with this old siding. When we go to put our siding on, it'll go on nice and even. But anyways, getting all kinds of trouble. People say I put windows in upside down and sideways, but this window's in right. All my windows are in right. That trailer house it's the size she found on a deal. That's why she used it. I didn't buy it, she did. But this thing had stucco. They got these little nails like at least every 6 inches. Here's why I said they had stucco. You can see this little bit of chicken wire here. I pulled quite a bit of that off in some areas, but that's why there's a bazillion of those. I just pound them in, pound all these nails tight on the siding everywhere, make it solid before I put our siding on. So anyways, wife's been painting it. Looks pretty good for now. We're going to end up putting a little deck out here on this side. At the door, that's just a temporary step. We can get in and out of the place. Cover a hole here for now until next weekend or whenever we get to come back. But next up on this project is Finishing up the siding on this side. Putting the trim work on the corners and on the seams and stuff. I'll show you how we do that.